This is Texans TV.
Texans All Access is presented by Mattress Firm, the official mattress retailer of the Houston Texans.
There's good energy in the building. I think a lot of that has to do with the type of guys we have on our team. And I think the big key is continuing to make good decisions every day.
Your attitude will be a competitive advantage.
This has been a training camp that the Texans and the rest of the NFL have never been through before. You're watching Texans All Access Training Camp. I'm your host, Drew Doherty. This is all presented by Mattress Firm, and we really do appreciate you watching. We've got a fun show for you because we're going to show you what's gone into the making of a Texans training camp. Plus, we've got Harris hits and a few fun deep slant interviews. But we go back to this idea that we're seeing something we've never seen before. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, Houston and the rest of the league have had to get ready for their 2020 season in a drastically different manner. So what goes in to all of that? Well, we followed along one very early morning into a very late night.
The CDC discovers a new virus that has jumped species from animals to humans.
New virus in China is raising fears of an outbreak.
There will be an impact on the sports world sooner or later, and probably much, much sooner.
NBA is suspending the season.
Last 48 hours have been very, very surreal.
Weird without live sports on TV.
The NFL is of the hope and the optimistic belief that it can have its season as scheduled.
As of the recording of this broadcast about possibly playing games without fans.
What's going to happen with training camp? What's going to happen with the season?
Off-season workout program will begin in a virtual manner as well.
We're going to have Zoom meetings and Discord meetings.
Great leaders always have plans, and the NFL is full of great leaders. So
your attitude will be a competitive advantage.
There's good energy in the building. I think a lot of that has to do with the type of guys we have on our team. We're very excited about our team. You know, it's one day at a time. Everybody's getting tested every single day. That's what 32 teams are dealing with. And so far for us, we've had 100% negative tests, which I think is a testament to our staff and our players that, they're obviously taking this thing seriously. Everybody's done an unbelievable job getting this building ready. You know, it's just different. And then when you're standing up in front of the team and you have a mask on and they all have masks on and everybody's really distanced, there's no doubt that it's different.
What is your dream? What are you thinking about each and every day relative to what you want to accomplish? Are you passionate enough to win the dream with people who are not like you? We'll talk about this more as a team as we get closer to the regular season. I think one thing, again, I cannot emphasize enough. I said this to you in the spring. I think it's important to read, it's important to study, it's important to think. And it's important to think about you, yourself, and your dream. And whether it's your dream on the football field, how much you want to put into it. How much are you willing to put into it to accomplish your dream? Are you willing to understand that some guys' dreams may take a little longer than other guys' dreams?
Punch, quick! Use those arms, use your arms, use your arms. Don't let you have your dead arms. Go, very nice, go.
They did everything they can to make this organization, this facility as safe as possible. And with the touchless doors, to masks being worn all the time, to the sanitation stations being everywhere. I mean, every 5 feet you see a sanitation station. It's safe to know that they are doing everything they can to make sure all the players are safe, all the staff members are safe.
It's the simple things of football that make you successful. And there's no secret about what makes football team successful. It's just a matter of who executes that the best. And in this year, there's a whole bunch more factors that factor into it. Which team does the best job of staying healthy? Which team does the best job of being responsible and disciplined off the field so that they don't have positive tests, having guys have to sit out? This year is so much different than every other year. That's going to be just as big a factor as any.
This team that we have, since I've been in this organization, is the most veterans we had. Played a lot of football, so a lot of rookies get to see a lot of different people, especially in different positions. Being the quarterback, it's kind of hard to be able to touch rookies on defense, receivers, O-line. But we have a lot of guys that played a lot of football that they can look up to them and watch them and take a lot of mental reps, whenever their time come in so they can perform.
All right, guys, like I was saying this morning, the first 3 weeks of this deal is very important that we adhere to all the protocols that are in place. I think so far you guys are doing an excellent job of that, and let's keep that going. We're a virtual team. The personal part of it, when you're in front of the team in the squad room and all that, that's a big part of football. But this is what we have to do to make sure that we keep the virus out of our building and out of our team. And I think the big key is continuing to make good decisions every day. And then the big key for all of us is when we leave the building, doing a good job of paying attention to wearing a mask, washing our hands, and making sure we do as good a job as we can to keep the virus out of the building.
Your attitude will be a competitive advantage. How we handle testing, how we handle longer days, how we handle not seeing each other as much, not being able to meet face to face. I think our attitude, our outlook on life and outlook on sports and outlook on relationships will be a competitive advantage this year for all sports and really all business and all of life, because it's challenging for everybody.
If you like what you saw there on that 53, we've got more of them on HoustonTexans.com as well as the Houston Texans mobile app. So to segue from how to get ready for 2020 off the field to getting ready on the field, we turn now to John Harris. Every single day of training camp, he's got his Harris hits breaking down what happened that day at practice. Well, here's an overall view of what's gone down the first week or so of practice.
What's up, everybody? How about a special edition Harris Hits, breaking down this training camp in 2020. I am John Harris, football analyst and sideline reporter, and the author of the infamous Harris Hits at HoustonTexans.com. And I got a few for you based on what I've seen at training camp so far, and I want to start with the offensive line. If you go back a year at this time, we had no idea who the 5 guys that were going to be up front. None whatsoever. Then Larry Tunsil was traded for. The 2 rookies stepped up and played very well. And now going into 2020, we have an offensive line that could be around for a long time. And that gives me a ton of confidence that they're going to protect number 4. And that's my next one. Deshaun Watson going into year number 4 here with the Texans. One thing that's been truly evident to me throughout is his command of this offense at all times. It doesn't matter what drill is going on, whether it's team drill, one-on-one drill, 7-on-7. He is the maestro. He is the puppeteer. He is making sure that everything goes the way that he thinks it should. And that ultimately is going to make this offense a special one in 2020 and beyond. Let's talk about Justin Reed. He's kind of the Deshaun Watson on the other side of the ball. But what I've seen in a third-year safety out of Stanford is that growth that you look for a guy going from a really good player into a leader and a pillar for the defensive side of the ball, and that's what Justin Reed is. Watching him an individual, seeing how important every single rep is to him, and seeing that energy that he has facilitated through that entire defense, I love seeing what Justin Reed is putting together this year for this team as a leader and as a player at that key safety position. One thing about this team, I think more so than any other training camp that I can remember, is the depth of pass catchers. I mean, at running back alone, you could have Duke and David Johnson. At wide receiver, you could have Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Will Fuller, Kenny Stills. At tight end, I mean, you can go at least 3 deep with Darren Fells, Jordan Akins, and Jordan Thomas, who has had a whale of a camp thus far. You've got a lot of weapons in the pass catcher realm for number 4, Deshaun Watson. And now it's just up to him to deliver the ball to the open guy. So there you go. Those are my Harris hits from early on in training camp. We'll have more for you. Go check out HoustonTexans.com.
When we return, it's a one-on-one with head coach and general manager Bill O'Brien. It's all next on Texans All Access Training Camp. Texans All Access is presented by Reliant, the official energy provider of the Houston Texans.
Drums.
room first.
It's training camp number 7 for Bill O'Brien, but it's his first training camp as the general manager of the Houston Texans. Welcome back to Texans All Access Training Camp, presented by Mattress Firm. And the head coach and GM had a chance to go one-on-one, or really one-on-two, with Mark Vandermeer and John Harris recently on Texans Radio.
We visit now with the head coach, Bill O'Brien. Coach, are you happy to see us? It's been a while.
It's been a long time. It is. You know, it's been tough. It's not seeing everybody in the building. That's different. You really get to know people over the years, and then all of a sudden, because of this virus, we've had to stay at home, and we had to do that for a long time. You guys are working from home, and it's tough, but it's good to see you guys now on the Zoom.
Coach, you've done a training camp for however long that I've known you, and you get in a routine of how you do it. You could probably just rote memory. You just go from one thing to the next. Have you found yourself getting in any sort of routine since camp has started back in late July?
The beginning was tough. The beginning was a little bit different because you had to stagger how you brought the team into the building. So, certain groups came in. We divided the team up into 5 groups, and, certain groups came in early in the morning to get tested. Other groups came in mid-morning, so it was a little bit of a stagger. So the routine wasn't a routine, right? It was a little bit different every day. We're in a little bit more of a routine now, which is better.
Do you ever remember in your career having a back like David Johnson? Guy that's 6'2", 230, but he's got soft receiver-like hands, can probably line up a receiver a lot of times for a lot of teams. I remember seeing him at the Senior Bowl, and he did that. Have you ever had a back quite like him, and how does he really fit in for your offense?
We really haven't had that guy until now with David Johnson. We've got a 3-down back that can run the football. He's a really good receiver out of the backfield, very smart, very professional, and we think he's gotten off to a great start. He's come back in excellent shape, pound for pound. He's probably in the best shape of anybody on our team, and he's had a really good start to training camp here. And we just got to keep him healthy and have a chance to get him the ball, and the same thing with Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson's had a good camp. I think both those guys in the backfield give us a lot of versatility.
When I look at the secondary, Coach, and I see that you added guys throughout the course of last season, and they played pretty well for you, but now you have an off-season together, even though it was a different kind of off-season. What is that like, and especially with Danton Lynn as the position coach now? Yeah,
it's been good. That secondary is very hardworking, very professional. We were able to bring Bradley Roby back. He was a free agent. We were able to bring him back. He's done a lot of good things so far in camp. He's a very versatile player. Garyon Conley started out on PUP. He's back out there on the field doing a good job. Lonnie Johnson should take a big jump this year. Year 1 to year 2 should be a good jump for him. Then you have guys that, like Keon Cross and A.J. Moore play safety, corner. Those are guys that are really core special teams guys, that are really glue guys on our football team, that are big. The safety position, Justin Reed's been a really productive player for us, came back in great shape. I think the secondary is a very competitive position. It'll be interesting how it all shakes out.
What have you seen in Deshaun Watson now going into his 4th year?
Been really good, really sharp, throwing the ball really well, has a really good grasp of our system. The communication in the huddle, the no huddle. He's just got a good grasp of. He's been doing it. This is his 4th year. He's been in the same system, which is good. He does a good job leading the offense. He's one of the leaders of the team, obviously, and like you said, I'm glad he's on our side, no doubt about it.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck with the rest of camp.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you again.
Time for some deep slants when Texans All Access Training Camp returns. so nice to see actual football being played here in the year 2020. This is Texans All Access, the training camp edition. It's presented by Mattress Firm. And when last we saw the good guys, they were trudging off the field at Arrowhead Stadium 9 months ago. That's where their season begins in 2020 for the regular season. Week 1, Thursday Night Football against the Chiefs. DP Sidhu has had a chance to catch up with many of the players, and here's the best of some of her Deep Slant interviews.
Joining me today for the Xfinity one-on-one Deep Slant, it's Nick Martin, center entering year 5, fresh off the practice field. It's safety Jalen Watkins. He's headed into year 6, year 1 with the Houston Texans. We've got defensive end Charles Omenihu. Charles, how's it going? You finally got to put on the pads. What's it been like for you?
It's been good. Coming into my second year, kind of understanding how things go. It's just getting yourself back in motion, getting your technique right, going against a guy that's just as formal as you. And that's been the biggest thing for me, is just seeing how I do again against guys, perfecting my technique and trying to tweak the little things here and there that I need to do to be ready for the game.
What made you decide that this was the team that you wanted to play for in 2020?
Just seeing in the past, being competitive in their division, coming from the Chargers, we were competitive, and then coming from Philly, we won a Super Bowl. So from looking at the roster and Coach OB, and just like I said, the last 4 years they've been in the postseason. So something good going here, and I wanted to be a part of it for sure.
Camp's going really well. The organization is doing an unbelievable job. I mean, the stuff they've changed around the building and how we're handling the whole COVID situation. Very responsible, and it shows a lot of faith. When you see from the top down how they handle it, how serious they're taking, they want to win. And, it starts at the top, so that trickles down, and we love it as players.
I saw all the social media posts, you and DeMarcus Ware, Cowboys' all-time sack leader. You got to work out with him and pick his brain a little bit. What was your biggest takeaway after working with Ware? What did you really gain from him?
I just gained a more efficient way of doing things with my hands, kind of just a bigger look at how to pass rush from anywhere on the D-line. He was helping me really rush the center and the guards, and what I'm going to be doing this year. And he was able to break it down in a way where I know what my strengths are, I know what my go-to should be, and how to perfect those things in a more efficient way than I was doing last year.
All right, I want to end this interview with a little word association. Since you know your starting 5 so well, I'm going to throw out a name, and I want to know the first word that pops into your mind. Okay, Laramie.
Thrift store.
Thrift store. I'm totally.
Yeah, he's got all this nice stuff. He always says it gets from the thrift store, but I think.
All right, Max Sharping.
Solitaire. He's an 85-year-old man. He plays solitaire.
Is he really?
Oh yeah, he's like the white shirt.
Okay, Zach.
Waterboy. There you go. Waterboy. Loves the movie Waterboy. Always quoting it. Always can get a good laugh from him. A good quote.
I'm gonna have to remember that when I interview Zach. All right, Titus.
Oh man, just funny. I mean, Titus is so funny. Like I feel like he doesn't even mean to be funny sometimes. But he's just so honest, and which is awesome. And it really makes him funny to see he speaks the truth.
Best of luck this season. Best of luck through the rest of camp. Charles Omenihu on the one-on-one Deep Slant presented by Xfinity. Charles, great to see you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
After the break, some of the best moments so far from Texans Training Camp Live. Texans All Access is presented by Mattress Firm, the official mattress retailer of the Houston Texans. I don't know if the sun's up or down while you're watching this show right now. This is Texans All Access, the training camp edition, presented by Mattress Firm. But the sun is proverbially rising on the 2020 season for the Houston Texans. And Texans Training Camp Live has gone on every practice day with me, DP Sidhu, and a host of others, and we've had a good time chronicling what's going down on the field. So make sure you watch it on HoustonTexans.com every single morning when the Texans take the field. Here is a snippet of some of the best times we've had so far. Hey, that's some of the fun you have when you do live internet TV. You got guys just running through the set.
And that's Brennan Scarlett. He's out there dancing. He's practicing his sack moves with the Rock Boys. They bring the energy. They bring the juice out to the field. This might be one of my favorite position groups to watch every week in game day, and they are no different in practice. I mean, they're loose in the locker room. They're loose out on the field, and can't wait to see what they're able to do, especially with some of these new pieces this year. One point about Martin's gym. Nick told me once we had finished recording the interview, he said that his neighbors would walk by every day and see all these big offensive linemen and football players working out. And he said one day, finally, they said, "Are you athletes?" I said, something tipped them off. So he said it was really funny. The neighbors were all walking by every day wondering what they were doing out there.
Oh, that could be an indictment, though, if they're having to ask if the guys are athletes.
I think it was an elderly couple.
Yeah. I wonder what athletes look like to those people.
My mom would probably do the same. Yeah.
And Jamal wants to know, how's number 15 looking? And so far, looking really good. He's been healthy. He's bigger. He's up at 190 pounds. He worked this offseason, like we've heard from Will himself, worked on his posture, worked on his mechanics of just movement. And so I have to work on my posture. My posture is horrible. I cringe every time I see a picture of me on this set because I look like Mr. Burns scooted over like that. Hey, it's August. Nobody's perfect this time of year. We're just ironing out the proverbial kinks, having a little bit of fun while we're doing so. We really do appreciate you watching. Make sure you check that show out every morning that the Texans practice. It's on HoustonTexans.com, the Houston Texans mobile app, and elsewhere. Also, we want to thank all the folks that put this show together, namely Tyler Marcotte. So we will be back again very, very soon. We appreciate you watching. Thanks so much, and go Texans. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.